Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I just have some stuff I want to say to you guys. I want to talk to you about really quick, and then we'll be out of here. Not a whole lot to talk about today, but I want to start off with something. I want to start off a little bit with basically reminding you guys that we are being stalked, doxxed, harassed, online harassed. Again, there's an impersonation scammer literally copying my entire channel, reposting it all over YouTube. Okay. So I am running constant interference with this. Okay. I just want to remind you that this platform is incredibly irresponsible and does not do the correct things with your data. Okay. So just wanted to remind everybody right off the bat. Secondly, I know I don't have to state this is kind of obvious. But again, I'm showing you guys something firsthand. I'm showing you what the numbers do. I'm showing what YouTube does. I'm showing you what happens when you do something. Okay. Adam Sandler does not give a flying fuck whether I think he's stupid or not. He doesn't care. He literally does not give a shit. Not only that, I also don't think he's stupid. And you all should know that. I've literally talked about that subject before. I said, nobody should say anything. It's none of anybody's fucking business. There are way better things to talk about and focus on right now as far as the media is concerned. And this is what we want to talk about and discuss. So the whole point is when it's none of your business and it's none of anybody else's business, why does YouTube promote it? Why do they rile everybody up? Why do they do this? Why is there a cancel rhythm? Why does everybody suddenly show up and organize to cancel you? They're not there to see you when you're having a good time. They're not there when you know you're trying to show them what a dumb fuck Donald Trump really is. When you're calling all this before it happens, when you're telling everybody and warning everybody and the streams are abruptly ending, they're running interference years ago, and you guys aren't paying attention at all. And I've been calling all this shit every fucking time it happens. But nobody's paying attention at all to any real reporting. So the fact of the matter is, unless I show you firsthand, you don't see it. And I guarantee you, that guy had a bajillion people telling him that I called him stupid on live streaming, and you know why? Because the feds right now are trying to make cases out of suing people. They're intentionally going out in the public and doing stupid, irresponsible fucking things with the intent to get journalists and people to talk about it so they can sue them. If a bunch of celebrities join in, well, there you go. Courts have ruled on it now. This is what they're doing. This is what the FBI is doing. This is why you don't just sort of kind of hand it to Kashi fuck Patel. Now, that little fun-sized twerp, he's going to have enough problems after Trump's out of office. He's going to have enough problems. All right, he's got enough as it is. But this guy's not qualified to run the FBI. He should have been fired already. This guy got locked out of his own computer. Are you kidding me? The director of the FBI couldn't figure out a password issue. For Christ's sake, I could call up 3 dudes that can get past a password. Jesus Christ. So the point is, I'm sick and tired of all these affirmatives people make about everybody else because they know everything. This is the point. So the point is, I say some stuff. I say some very, you know, head turny things, and then people make some very, very affirmative things. And then I just come back and say the opposite. Ha, gotcha. This should tell you, and then these people flip out, right? Why? Shouldn't they just be happy that that wasn't the case? Oh, okay. What's the intent there? So I want to remind you also that you can't make threats against the president of the United States. You can't do that. Don't do that. However, I can lie to you and tell you that you're allowed to. Got nothing to do with anything. Okay? You can't just go out and willy-nilly and start committing crimes and be like, well, this guy, he said it was, it was fine. It doesn't matter. That's not conspiracy to commit a crime. That's just an idiot. What the fuck you spend so much time on the internet listening to what everybody says instead of living life and figuring it the fuck out? Because you're lazy and scared? Yep. Both. Both. Not one, both. It ain't just one. Because if it was just one, we'd know how to deal with it. It's both. Lazy and scared. And so here you are, causing problems for me. Endless. Because, I am somehow the fucking epitome of gateway to if he can do it, no. I am an entertaining son of a bitch. That is what I am. If you're an entertaining son of a bitch, fine. Then do your thing and prove it. But otherwise, again, like, just like all the same garbage that's out there, regurgitation of, let's make another video game. Why? Because some people went to college? And they get to? I got some really good fucking ideas, man. And some of these guys, it really seems like they're sitting here just taking them. Because they ain't got shit. Meanwhile, nobody's making my games. Oh, but this next generation, they totally nailed DirectX 12, the Unreal Engine. Yep. It's Microsoft. It's your inability. The people that came before held Microsoft accountable. So did Bill Gates. By the way. None of you are. None of you are acting like boomers. Act more like boomers. I mean, if somebody, I just, people see things a certain way because they don't go out into the world. It's like if somebody says something that they don't like, they see it as, oh, damn it, there's another Jew saying something I don't like. Look, here's another Jew. What? You didn't notice that you're also noticing that he's also Jewish? What? You know what else we can notice about Jews? You know what else you can do with Jews? You know what else? They're really fucking good at math, too. Einstein. Einstein. Albert Einstein. All right. Oh, that's right. The Nazis oppressed smart people. And then after they suppressed them, they begged for them to come back and then lost the war because the U.S. won the fight to build the atom bomb. That's it. They built it first with the help of Albert Einstein. And thank God, because for Christ's sake, I can't imagine how the world would be under Nazi Germany. They would have just bombed anybody. It wouldn't have been Nagasaki, Hiroshima. One time we learn our lesson. We should never do that shit. This is the point. No, that should never happen again. None of you remember anything about what you're taught. And it makes me wonder how you're taught. If it's fed to you in a way that's through a scope that's like this, so that you don't understand the seriousness. This is important shit, man. I'm the guy that admitted that I fell asleep in history class. This is my worst subject in school. Like, literally, I swear to God. Ask my teachers. It shouldn't have been. I should have cared. I should have said, holy F, that happened. But we're sitting real pretty now, aren't we? Maybe I did. I don't know, but I don't think enough people did. That's what you get when you don't do that. You get a Donald Trump. You get a stupid fuck that just... I mean, the guy's admitting to be a criminal at this point. I swear to God, he'd probably be happy. He'd probably be the happiest man alive if one of his sons, if he found out one of his sons somehow stole a shitload of money from him. He'd probably pat him on the back and be like, how'd you do it? Boy, that was smart. I didn't even know. Yeah. That's Donald Trump. The guy that doesn't go to his own son's wedding. The guy that when everybody else is, all other world leaders are being peaceful and doing the thing that normal fucking people do, just says, no, I won't do that thing and show that I'm participating peacefully. He's the fucking he's the fucking Romulan. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the Vulcans. It was the Romulans. It was always the fucking Romulans. The whole point is they wanted you to think it was the Vulcans just because they look like they look similar. Propaganda, misinformation, racism, all over again. And then Romulans get a terrible name forever too. Why do you think the Romulans are so pissed? Didn't someone fucking just destroy their planet randomly? Is Romulus still there? I don't fucking remember that shit. All I know is there was a lot of propaganda, and it was always a fucking Romulan causing propaganda misinformation because again, it just confused all the commoners and shit like that. Oh, we didn't like Vulcans to begin with. So it's the same shit. He's just illegally using immigration policy because the people that would actually vote for such a terrible person, the only thing they're voting for is racism. Because the whole point is Obama and the people that came before were actually strict on immigration. So when you see that come from a black president and you elect the opposite, not the fact that he's white, just the opposite type of person, where he comes in and does complete. Listen, I told you, Obama admits this right in his book. I wasn't trying to say that, but I think he would even back up the message at this point, just getting out there. Right in the fucking beginning of his book, he admits, coming out of office, this guy coming in is everything opposite of what he stood for. Go pick it up. It's a good fucking book. And he actually wrote it. He wrote it. He wrote it. He didn't get a writer. He didn't say, oh, no. He wrote it. I'm sure he had editors. I'm sure he had, but he wrote it. Trump didn't even get a guy and say, write my, no. He didn't even write it. They just talked about what, like, it's like a sales pitch. They like bullshitted the whole thing. It's a scam. It's to teach people how to scam. And it itself was a scam. God. Why do you think scammers follow this guy around? CNN exposed. Give me a break. No, nothing's exposed. Guys, for the most part, you can trust most of the mainstream media outlets. For the most part. Seriously. They don't sit there and just misreport. Do you realize that not even half, every one of us sitting on here that you listen to, that you get your information, what do you think we're doing? What do you think any of us are doing? And then some of us are actually citing, and then that conveniently they go after you because you report it and everybody listens to you, but then they give them the middle finger. That pisses them off. I'd be pissed too. They do the work and then we get to report. No. See, this is what ticks me off. CNN always reported, always had our backs, no matter who it was. They even gave shit to Obama when they shouldn't have given shit to Obama because they just felt like they should because of all the misinformation Trump was spreading about them. I swear to God, they actually did this for a little bit. Obama remembers it. Is so incredibly immature. And they backed away from that. That this was the point. Like, they even did that. Yeah. Isn't it amazing when somebody pays attention? Yeah, like it's you know, like it's kind of amazing, isn't it? It's like who the fuck else pays attention anymore? People in college, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, that's why some people watch me, right? Because they're sitting here watching me going, you know, it's actually kind of refreshing listening to somebody like actually just say it how it is for once instead of just beating around the bush and dancing around it. That's the point. People have done this before. They're the Howard Sterns or the David Lettermans, the Walter Cronkite, is that correct? Of their generation, the Ron Burgundy. There you go. Okay. Of their generations, okay? I'll give you a fake one to set you all alive with fake ones. Okay? Isn't he supposed to be based off Walter Cronkite? Anyway, the point is that we're being attacked because for the first time in history, you actually have a billionaire president. You actually have that Rockefeller kind of guy. Like think back to the actual Depression days. Imagine if Rockefeller actually won. Like the whole point is that like this shouldn't be the case. This should not be the case. This, you know what I mean? We should not have a billionaire because he has always existed above you. He's going to continue to do that. I promise you the Iran deal is not even close to whatever the hell he says it is. So I guess he's saying something about how it's, didn't he say it's like toll free? It's open toll free. Like what is that? Toll free? What does that mean? It's a shipping port, you fucking douchebag. Toll free? It's a shipping port where ships go. The whole fucking point is that they have to go through there in order to import oil from the Middle East. Oh, what's that thing Trump did that Biden and Obama undid that would have not? Again, he had the Iran nuclear deal, but again, other than that, what's the one thing? Remember, what's the one thing? Oh, that's right, oil. Oh, that's right, we're importing oil again, even though we were domestically drilling and we got shitloads of it in Alaska. Oh, wait, that's right. Russia sold us Alaska because they're fucking retarded. And Putin's been trying to get that back ever since because, again, this was before his tenure. So, this is what all this shit is about. I told you this, like, way back. But you're talking to the guy that watches Alaska State Troopers and all that. Like, the whole point is, I wasn't educated about this stuff because of the stuff going on now. I was educated because I watched National Geographic type stuff. Like, that's just interesting to me. Okay? So I was already aware that there's like a thin fucking frozen line there that if you, certain times of winter, it's frozen enough you could walk across. But if you do, you're just gonna get shot. Okay? Like, that's the point. Don't fucking do that. And not only that, by the way, nobody that lives there can hear this, okay? It's like an Eskimo town. They don't have, it's not a normal, that is so far, like, it is like, it is actually hard to get to. You know why he's recording this? Why you see the bit rate shifting around? Because Trump doesn't know these things. And he wants to terrorize any town that he doesn't know about. So if there's Eskimos there and illegals, he's going to take ICE in there and terrorize them. That's why. Disgusting. Disgusting. Trump is evil. He was friends with Epstein. I mean, listen. Is everybody that was friends with Epstein inherently evil? Stop this. What's wrong with you? This is the problem. Do y'all hate Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis? They were friends with that dude from that 70s show, right? Y'all forgot about that in time, right? Good, you should. You should. So what? Don't use that. That's a terrible. I'm not trying to be rude. I appreciate your support. You're being nice. But I'm just saying for your benefit, that's a terrible argument. Okay, there you go. That's a better argument. He was in Epstein's black book. There you go. Yeah, like for sure I'm in agreement with you that Trump is evil, but there's a way better argument than he was friends with Epstein. Okay, I want to know why he pled the fifth so many times when asked about Epstein. No, like they weren't friends, they were rivals. They were one-upping each other. They were billionaire rivals. This is what they want to protect the public from finding out. What you guys have to realize is these guys, they're trying to protect the public from finding out that these guys actually spend shitloads of money and terrorize the public being rivals. And the rival thing that topped anything Trump could do was that Epstein bought an island and sex trafficked people. I swear to God. That's what they're trying to keep from you guys. That's what's disgusting. Oh, I know, confetti. I know. How do I know that? How does he know that? How does he? Look at my bit rate. Because I'm an analyst. This is what good analysts can actually do. I am better than any computer ever will be. And the point is, Trump administration fired people like this. Federal government, the FBI, pays really good fucking money for people that can do this. And that's precisely why they're running misinformation campaigns against anything I say. Like removing views. And again, obviously it's all to, also possibly figure out a way to rig the election too. Obviously they can figure that out too. So just rationalize, everything you've seen. I mean, guys, listen. If I can show you the view removal, but if I sit here and I show all those screenshots, YouTube is going to sit here, start shifting my bitrate around all over the place and censoring the stream, and it's going to start buffering. I could show you for the millionth time all the views that have been removed. I have a bajillion screenshots. I have shown them so fucking many times on stream. Thousands of views coming off stream. Where again, you literally even see this concurrent counter hit thousands, okay? And literally they just sit there and remove them every fucking stream. And now it's just fixed. Now you see the bit rate start shifting around if there's a influx of traffic. they shift the bit rate around and start determining who's watching and spying on them. The geofencing technology I talked about, this is what the feds are using. It's not, they're literally using, it's illegal. They're not supposed to be doing it. And the point is the feds, the like ICE and stuff like that, they're doing it and then lying on like documents and saying it's to justify making sure people aren't harboring like, you get what I'm saying? Where they were justifying ripping people out of cars and stuff at gas stations too. Like there's no justification for looking through somebody's home with sonar. That's what we're talking about. They just literally stare into your home all day with sonar-like technology. So with that being said, imagine the amount of health problems this causes if it's all the time. This could cause cancer. It's just signals and stuff. This could literally kill people within years. All kinds of stuff. Oh, they don't care. Why are the feds doing this? The patents are all public. The feds have crazy technology. Yeah. Again, they might be doing it because, and again, not legal, but the point is that ICE is doing all they're doing to, make sure people aren't harboring like illegals and stuff like that. So just remember how much shit ICE is doing and getting away with. They shouldn't be doing the stuff in Minneapolis. All that is incredibly illegal. Like again, they shot a guy, they smacked his phone down. Like none of that stuff should have even happened. These people shouldn't even have been policing. They are supposed to be on the border. Their jurisdiction ends like fucking 2 miles out from the border. They cannot lawfully do any policing whatsoever outside of that jurisdiction. None. Police must do it. And then if the person's illegal, they are then to turn over the person and information to Border Patrol. But they are not to conduct police investigations or do any policing for this reason. And again, anybody that's put in charge of that should have the credentials and knowledge to know that. I know that simply fucking looking it up. It's public information. But again, Donald Trump, piece of trash, should know that. And so, like, again, it's really just about that. It's really just about, feds being able to. So just like back in J. Edgar Hoover days, what they would do is they would spy on like the Black Panthers group and stuff like that. It's very believed that the FBI had a hand in the assassination of Malcolm X and riled up the Black Panthers movement at the time. And that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing with the FBI now. He is using this technology, again, to spy into people and stuff like that. Just like, using cybersecurity to spy on people and monitor their behaviors and stuff like that. It's done with very similar types of, it can be done with similar types of botting and stuff. And so like the point is that they're trying to do it again to target certain groups and, pit people against each other, civil war. He wants to have any fucking reason to remain president a third time. He wants to call civil war. He wants to call the election off. He is going to do anything that he can. So it's all about that. It's all about getting all of us to fight. Just like I warned these creators that were on here that were pro-Trump, if you say that, they're just going to pit us against each other. And I warned them, don't like declare war and start fighting and stuff. It's exactly what they did. They trolled every last fucking ounce of every warning that I told them. So they literally just proved to me that they're not worth my time. And after this, it just became about me documenting all of the stalking and the harassment and stuff because it's just terrorism at that point. They are terrorists, radical terrorists for that other side, where they truthfully want an excuse to harass people just for their politics. That's disgusting. You have a right to whatever side you want, just as they have a right to say what they're saying. And I'm not trying to impede on that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely. I think it's scarier. I think it's scarier that Donald Trump bombs like a school in Iran and then doesn't even own it. He tries to like convince the public that Iran did that. Remember? He didn't even own that. And it was an accident too. He could have just gone with that. Because that's the truth. They bombed a military base and there was a school on the military base. But like he can't even like he literally just completely disgraces their honor on this earth, the very few years they had here. He just can't even be honest about that. Just literally becomes propaganda. Nope. Iran did it. Fake news. This is why this is bullshit at this point, guys. This is you can't allow that. That's disgusting. Imagine if we dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Do you guys know that we were there like right after that? They surrendered and we were there like talking with them and collecting data and stuff like that. Could you imagine if we were Trump? And instead, what we did is just sort of kind of lied about it or something like that. We don't know how it happened. Oh, somebody set him off. Yeah, it was their nukes. We don't fucking know. That's what's gonna happen. And instead, now we have all this history where we can talk about it, learn from it. We accepted our mistake. Japan accept like they know we did it. This is the point. We owned that. That's why we get to face the rest of the world boldly, bravely, because we owned that. We admitted it. We bombed them. If we don't, we're hiding forever, just like Trump. Just like Trump. Um, you know, we really are a shell. By the time he's done, we are going to be just like Microsoft was. There he is, where they're like a shell of what they used to be. Like when he's done with our country, he's going to have given everything to our enemies they've always wanted, which is pretty much already done. All our social security numbers. So that thing you're always worried about, social security running out and stuff like that. Well, that sort of thing may not happen, but it may get stolen because of Trump. The chip deal, the whole I know I brought this up, but the just giving China everything they want with those Nvidia chips, just not having just backing down, cowering. This is catastrophic. This may pave the way for China and possibly Japan to unite against us. And you don't want that. This is the thing that even the Soviet Union feared. This is the thing everybody always feared. And the thing you have to worry about that is China doesn't have a long track record of being loyal. China, this is the concern of when you don't have democracy and freedoms and checks and balances. When you just have communism, the problem is, can you trust that guy? It's all on this one person or these few people. But when you have a democracy and you have elections and well, then it's just a matter of gauging the general public, and it's far less believable to think that, you know, like, again, like, everybody in an entire country would, you know, like, feel, you know, you'd have to do a lot, you know. So this is the point. This is how you obtain peace, and this is why that works. Because one little tiny fucking thing is going to set off this douchebag that took all the power for himself in the first place. You know, that would feel so entitled and not have an election system, not, you know, actually put himself there and not feel like he should have checks and balances. I would feel like I need checks and balance. I would never, ever, ever want anything other than an elected position, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Does that make sense? I would want that, because I don't know necessarily what the fuck I'm doing, and I would want a way out. Now I'm trapped, and I have to endlessly pretend I know everything. Or I'm done. So these guys just get trapped. That's it. Now, it doesn't mean that you should feel sorry for them or anything like that. But this is just the truth of the fact. Even if they wanted to, they can. So, while understanding that, never do that yourself. Never do that with your government. You have elected positions for a reason, checks and balances. And then, you know, the whole point is, how many things has that one dude gotten away with over the decades that he has had to do damage, like Putin? Or Putin has been in there assassinating the people running against him in Russia for the past several decades. That's what he's always done. Russia has elections. Vladimir Putin does not allow these elections fairly. He has quite literally just assassinated the guy that wins. So the point is, the one guy that was going to, like, do something about this and testify and come back to the US, I think it was like the day before, or like the couple days before, he was about to like board his train or his plane or whatever, and he was just shot. That's it. There it goes. Done. Nobody to testify. And there's his competition. Putin president again. Yay! Wow, they elected him again. Wow, it's a miracle. Wow. Wow, they just keep electing Putin. Huh, boy. And they actually believe it, because he runs misinformation and kills people that say otherwise. like literally like beats them in the street and stuff like that. So that it's never challenged, because that's the severity of the punishment. When that's the severity of the punishment, there ain't no fucking way in hell anybody's gonna say a damn thing. They ain't gonna say shit. It's the same with North Korea. When you visit North Korea, they're like, the people, when you walk around, this is why they stopped, like, tourists were starting to film it. They don't even let you do it. They will literally section off entire areas. They'll be deserted. You won't even see normal people anymore. They stopped doing it because people were being recorded. Like, the whole point was, they were they were like forbidding them from like looking at these tourists. Like even North Korean people weren't allowed to look at the tourist. They would just be looking down, and if the tourists would try to talk to them, they would like have to turn away and walk away and ignore them. Yep. And so, like, again, this is you find out the truth. The truth is, well, obviously the entire nation is completely impoverished. Kim Jong Un is the only rich man, period. He takes it all for himself. There is a crop shortage. They cannot grow crops. And pretty much everybody lives in shacks except for Pyongyang. Pyongyang is the single city in North Korea where everything is. It's just complete fucking lie. And the whole point is they're finding out because people are going to South Korea, and South Korea is a lot more like the United States was kind of like in the 90s, 2000s, and you know, a lot more about peace and immigration and accepting people and stuff like that. So that's why. Um and so people are going there and finding out the truth. And I'm telling the story. That's it. And you know, like, that's how we know that stuff. And you know, the story I keep telling you guys where the North Korean lady really wanted people to know about how hateful the misinformation was, even on an elementary level. Even it's taught to them. You know, they're taught to report people. You know, even when they're younger, they're not taught to love. They're taught that if they report their sibling or something like that, they're gonna have a better time. They're gonna get promoted and stuff like that. So being a criminal is actually rewarded. Being a tattletale, being just a downright disgusting, untrustworthy individual, no honor, no integrity. This is taught. That's why. And so the point is, she was telling her story. This is how involved it is like, even some of their math equations down to an elementary level, even some of the kids, they're taught like basically to hate Americans in such a way that it's actually like, if you would have 5 American bastards and you removed 2 American bastards, how many American bastards do you have left? And, like, that's the point. She was explaining that this was one of the this was one of the math problems in, like, her elementary school textbooks, is like literally that is exactly how they teach it. And so you just grow up thinking America, they lie, they say the Korean War was caused by the US. Korean War was caused by the Koreans. I mean, yeah, it was riled up by like a few of the neighboring countries and stuff. Russia, obviously, it was caused by the Koreans. They fought each other. Uh, I think we actually, I think we assisted a couple of times with assisting. I think, right? I'm not 100%. I think we just assisted when people needed help. I think that was which is sort of kind of what we've always kind of done, after a certain point, if that makes sense. Vietnam, right? Vietnam was what taught us we don't do this shit anymore. So, you know, like the essentially the war that drug on forever that Vietnam won. You know, again, US lost the Vietnam War. We did not win that. And then all we did was withdraw. This should teach you everything you need to know. Vietnam, technologically bow and arrow type stuff compared to what the United States had. And we lost. That is how completely fucking absurd it is that Donald Trump went and tried to invade Iran. Okay? The Persians, for Christ's sake. All right, so anyway, it's like, why do you think the rest of the world doesn't fuck with us? They know they know there's a lot of Vikings here too. Like, it's just the heritage. Like, it's the sort of thing where it's like everybody else learned this about history. Why isn't, oh, that's right, Donald Trump is a moron and didn't pay attention in school. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right. He skipped intelligence briefings. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That's right. So, my point behind this is that we are all idiots. We should have ascended to a higher level of intelligence already, evolution, whatever you want to call it. I personally think we should have evolved in some sort of aquatic, like basically we have too many things about us that constantly harm us, you know? And like, for example, like there's just everything about our anatomy needing oxygen, you know, and stuff like that. We cannot adapt. We are inadaptable. Okay? So I personally think that again, you know, as a species, as society, we should have already evolved and adapted. You know, again, the purpose behind this is that we are all idiots. Um, and myself included, you know. I mean, like, the amount of times I say something stupid, I'm sure that there's tons of them, okay? So, we have to, part of the issue is that people become angry, become very, very emotionally held back by this notion of being stupid. Yes. Now you understand how I feel. Yes. Thank you. Now you're getting it. Yes. Yes. Accept it. This is part of the issue. You haven't accepted it. We are all stupid. The longer adults go on not accepting we are all dumb is the next time some jackass flips out and punches somebody in a convenience store because some guy flicked him off. And he could not take this. He just, man, he really cares a lot about what that guy thinks about him, and he just can't take seeing that middle finger extended in the air, and he's got to hit that guy. You know, like again, like, what is it about that you know what I mean? Like, what, you know what I mean? I always, you know, like, it's just the sort of thing where it's like, what makes you like so triggered that you would actually do that, that you would seek harm, you would continue doing it, You know, like the people that you see raging out, just like hitting people and stuff like that. Like I will never understand like what is the extension of that that you don't get about life. You know what I'm saying? I will never like what about what the person you know, like I mean it's one thing if they're impeding your walking or trying to prevent you from doing something or you know I get somebody that's actually messing with you, but they're just stand there and flick you off. What is this? What I feel like this is every bully, like, just showing who they are, that's all, like, you didn't get over this, you got away with beating people up when you were younger or something like that, you know, and you weren't checked for it, and now it's coming out, right? Like, I just that's what this is to me, in my opinion. No, I mean, I've given you a firsthand account in my lifetime, a little bit of a story. I'm not going to recount it now, but a little bit of a story, of something that happened, again to me when I was younger, before I knew martial arts. Right before this was part of the precursor, but the whole point is, a recount of a very Christian person in the community getting away with punching a person in the face and nothing happens to them because they reported it. They did it, they reported it, and they were crying and stuff. And I got punished. Huh? So like as a society, that is dumb. This taught me how fucking dumb every adult was. I don't know that I'm still, I'll be honest, I may not even still be over that. That may be something that I'm still not over. And I am still really pissed off at that school for being that fucking stupid. And that is a public school system. There's that fucking dumb. That's how they handled that. And that man, I mean, not that that person became like an entitled prick or anything like that, but there are times. Everybody has those days, right? So it's the sort of thing where, um, you know, uh, people get this entitlement out of what they're taught they're allowed to do to take advantage of other people. And oftentimes it's like, oh, well, if I can use oh well all I gotta do is be a Christian and now I can get away with hitting people or something like that. And that's kind of what Trump was doing his first time in office. He tear gassed an entire park of people just to stand in front of a closed church holding a Bible for a picture. And again, he was told that they were going to have to do something if he did that, but he did it anyway. I mean, like that's the same. It's the same scenario. Two different people thinking exactly the same douchebag like way. So anyway, when we talk about these personal these personal things again, um I think that everybody gets really held up and not really sure where to go, you know? So I want to remind you that again, it's just like when all there's all this focus on Trump, and like the Epstein thing and his family and stuff, and there's legitimate scandal. The guy's literally a criminal. And then he puts a probe into Hunter Biden and tries to sit here and find all this random shit out of nowhere about Hunter Biden and stuff like that. Out of nowhere. And nobody knew who this guy was, anything about him. Nobody ever talked about Hunter Biden, ever. And now, all of a sudden, you can't fucking stand him. Why? Well, I looked into him the same time everybody else did. And I was like, oh, actually, it's sort of the opposite. So this is why he did this. The whole point is he ran this because if you actually research and look into Biden, all you find out is that basically he's scandal free. Oh, and Hunter Biden is also an awesome class act too that does also really good things. Yep. And so they had to like there's a laptop and some information or something like that. It's like, dude, when you're when you're the vice president of the United States and you also have a family member that might have a job in the government too and stuff like that, there are going to be some things that, as you deal with diplomatic issues and stuff abroad, maybe you're there and you're also the son of a vice president and stuff like that, like it just changes things, the social norm of you being you're immediately the son of a vice president. Like it just everything's different. And not only that, but again, if it's an official capacity, again, like a missions trip or whatever the person's doing there to help out, again, there could be a million and one things that you're going to sit here and find and spin it a certain way. Okay? It's just like the thing where I pointed out the fact where these assholes are trying to give Hassan a problem. You know how Asmongold and everybody, they just cannot sit here and not harp on Hassan. But their fucking flagship dumbass Nick Shirley does exactly the same thing in Cuba. Exactly the same thing. And he isn't under the same scrutiny. Again, all Hassan Piker did, like, it's just good. Like, the laws are, I mean, sometimes it's going to happen. Okay? And it takes feds to not be a fucking douchebag. It's that simple. Intent matters. Are you actually a fucking terrorist or just going on vacation? Like, what? Like, are you 5 years old and you're trying to make everything a big fucking deal? You don't belong in that fucking job then. You're costing everybody shitloads of money doing that. Loads of paperwork. And you are going to jail for it one day. I promise you're just going to go to jail for it one day. And meanwhile, you're harassing, everybody's is beating up this guy Hassan who blatantly is going to feed people that are starving. Like, there's literally a hunger problem. Like because Donald Trump is a dumb piece of shit, he's not doing anything for Cuba's support like Obama was. So again, because he's a piece of shit, other people are trying to step up and help out Cuba. But meanwhile, Nick Shirley actually is going there to cover the fact and spin misinformation and literally lie about shit. That is, in fact, what Nick Shirley does. So him, I actually might actually investigate coming back, because Nick Shirley does have a habit of misinforming, of literally saying, "Hey, this is what's happening. I'm gonna lie to you right now. Lie, 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 lie. Here's my bullshit lie of what I believe." Now that I've said that, and I've hooked you to believe it too, because it's a very simple, basic, racist thing. So therefore, anybody that votes for Trump loves being racist and just getting anybody out of the country that doesn't look super fucking white. So therefore, hey, I'll just believe it. We'll start with that. And that's how he does it every single fucking video. He just starts with a complete, utter lie. Bullshit, made up fucking nonsense. Or what he does is he films a problem really close up, and then a bunch of retards are like, "Oh, what a great guy. What did you do? Did you do something? Or did you just sort of go there and film a bunch of shit really close up while not doing anything? Do you want a fucking cookie for that? With your millions of subscribers?" Why do you go to Cuba, actually spread misinformation, lie about shit? Like, that's literally what you did. You went to Cuba, Nick Shirley. I watched your videos. You lied. You spread misinformation. All you gotta do is go watch them. Lied about what's actually happening. Oh, see, it's not so bad. He's literally lying. It's really bad. And he was trying to frame it in this way, just like Asmongold does when he doesn't visit a country and show it. Yeah, except Nick Shirley goes there and then misinforms. He just tries to make it look like, "Oh yeah, it's because they suck. They won't deal with this. It's their fucking problem." And he's just getting you to hate him and treat him like filth. He's literally just filming it close up so that anybody that doesn't like dirty, terrible things looks at actual people that way. Yeah. So that's how I look at Nick Shirley, like a dirty, disgusting dumpster piece of trash of an individual. I look at him like the needle that you see on the ground that the drug dealer uses. That's what Nick Shirley is to me. He's the used needle. Because that's what he's doing. He's a fucking tool. So, again, this is what people don't understand. They literally will just look at things how they want to look at them instead of how they are. I don't give a flying fuck about sides. I would love to sit here and tell you the Republicans are doing a great job. I would love that. I would love to vote I would love to sit here and love Trump and be like, "Go Trump." I would fucking love that more than anything. Are you insane? I would love that more than anything. Jesus. The whole point is that this is just how it is. You're literally just being lied to. The Democrats aren't the bad guys, the fucking Republicans. For the most part. And again, they've been in control of Congress, giving all the power to this criminal that's taking it, doing extra fucking illegal shit, illegal war, all this stuff. When are you gonna start reckoning? And then none of you that sit here and try to argue anything against against Democrats ever have any facts. You literally just say something and it's totally made up. That's the fucking point. Nothing you say ever is the truth. Ever. Unless it's just, oh yeah, well, it's all fucked up. Brilliant deduction. Unless you're saying something stupidly simple like that, you know, fucking shit. What do you think fixes gas prices? It ain't a tariff. A tariff is a cost. And it's also not supposed to momentarily be introduced. Tariffs exist. It's called a trade deal. A tariff is an initial trade deal. That's what it is. You don't just sign executive orders. Tariff. No, this idiot found out what these things are. Becoming president, that's it. And all he found out is that he was never, ever gonna be the guy that makes a trade deal. Because nobody wants to make a deal with that fucking piece of trash asshole. He's an asshole. Would you make a deal with him? He just treats you like an asshole. Talks about himself the whole time. Like it probably just go. That's the whole point. Anybody that meets him, he just goes on for hours about himself. They can't fucking stand the guy. No. No, nobody wants to do a trade deal with that lunatic. Especially when they know we actually have been getting the better deal for decades. And he's saying the opposite to all of you. You have a slap in the face that is to them? They're just going to do the polar opposite. Cut all of us out. And then you're going to find out real quick what a dumb fuck he actually is. What he did. And that's what you should all recognize. They did. That's what they did. We were getting the better deal for decades. Till Trump came along. He fucked it. I don't wish harm upon the president. But boy, do I want him gone. And You can't possibly for all of you that couldn't predict because you don't understand how things work and couldn't predict all this, and think about just how much smarter everybody else is that with politics than you. Okay? Now, okay, now think about that for a second. Now, add on to that the fact that we're just figuring it out based on what we have. Imagine if Donald Trump is in there and he undoes the freedom of information and he undoes the, you know, freedom of the press, all this stuff where you just don't have a right to have free speech anymore. The point is, systematically, you'll be forced to believe whatever version of reality he wants you to believe, just like in these other countries where they teach them at a young age to hate. Just like that. It's the same thing. It just happens. It's all he's going to do. He's going to have a change of heart now that he's in charge of everything. No, 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 no. He's going to double down. He's going to realize he can't. He's going to do everything he can to keep that power. This will be full control. As he's already trying to do. I mean, even Jimmy Kimmel can't make a fucking joke anymore. I got a secret for you guys. You ready? Now, I know this is a big secret, okay? All right? Let's come in a little bit. I got a secret for you. Ready? I know this is a big secret, okay? Well, come on in here. Come on in. I don't want to say it too loud, okay? The feds might hear, okay? So just come on in here a little bit, all right? I got a little secret. Ready? Ready? Okay. Now don't tell too many people, okay? We don't want the feds to know. Okay. You ready? Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian. I know. I know. I know. Shocking, right? I just felt like I really needed you guys to understand that. Now again, don't tell too many people. That's just between me and you, right? Okay? But, you know, he is. So, I just thought, you know, that's really necessary to let you guys know that he's a he's a comedian. Okay. I said I don't have a follow up. There's no follow up to that. That's it. But yeah, just figured I'd let you know that. It's a thing. And it's just this little thing, this thing that people do to make life not so boring. And so it's called, you know, like some people call it taking the piss out of something. You know, you sort of kind of like make fun of the thing, so it's not so bad anymore. Right? So I wonder why all of us would be poking comedy fun at Trump then. I wonder. Huh. Boy, golly. Golly gosh darn. Boy. Boy do I wonder. Maybe it was for all the times where he was not joking. Now again, there's comedy, and then there's filth. Maybe it was all the time where these reporters would get dressed up, show up on time. You know, he's probably super late. They get dressed up, they go to work. Hectic schedule. They probably got kids too. They show up to ask really one question and hope they get an answer because, you know, it's how they make their money. And meanwhile, this filth, this disgust that is supposed to represent the free world. Oh boy. When the reporter finally gets pointed out to call on for her question, he just says, "Yes, Piggy. Shut up, Piggy. Shut up, Piggy." Referring to the reporter as a farm animal. Listen. Oh, I assure you, if if uh if a lady put herself together and had an interview and stuff like that and had a question for me, I would not be such a rude, disrespectful piece of trash. Oh no, oh no, no, oh my god, no. I would do my utmost to simply respect the person's time and answer the fucking question, because that's a person that did all that stuff for you. And then you called her a piggy. That's a slow clap for you, Donald. Good job. Yeah, good job. Yeah, you have successfully taken the respective office way way down to just demoralizing the media by insulting them with farm animal insults. Boy, class act, sir. And the first one to utter the F word out loud. Oh boy. And my point to you guys is I I don't you guys, I don't know, I don't give a shit. I say whatever I want, okay? Right? And I've said this, right? But I've also said I'm not the president of the United States and that I would treat that very fucking differently if I were. Opposite. I would literally flip that shit because I have to. It's a job. And I'm getting paid a lot of money to fucking do it. And everyone in this country and everyone that died in a war beforehand and will in future wars depends on what I do next. And that what you say, it matters. In those contexts, does it matter? Jimmy Kimmel? That shit don't fucking matter. It's just a joke. The shit I said about Adam Sandler a few days ago, nobody cares. Everybody probably already forgot about it. Don't matter. Yep. But what the President of the United States says, while running for office, campaigning for it, debating for it, in office, leaving office, between the two terms, everything. Oh, it matters greatly. Especially since Donald seemingly came in being the opposite of everything, even almost he stood for in the past. How many times can we find a quote from Donald Trump from probably about 2 decades ago when he was like closer to his 50s, 50s era, like around there. Of course, he's 80 now, so it'd be 3, but you get what I'm saying. And how many times do we hear a quote from that time period and it sounds like something Obama would say? And you're like, what? Wait, what? He said shit like that? Jeez. I wish it would do that now and feel that way now. It's something I would say. Stuff about like what was the thing he said, like having a government shutdown makes the president look weak, and if you have a government shutdown that reflects on the president and how well he's doing and stuff like that. Oh yeah, for sure. Agreed. I mean, not all of it, but some of it for sure can be. Yeah. Oh, I agree. It makes things. I mean, you're hiring those people. Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, Congress is still Congress. There's elected officials. We're talking about that. We're talking about the people he appointed. Just like where Congress all keeps trying to pass something right now. How many times did they almost pass a thing to stop the Iran war? And Mike Johnson kept shutting down. Just shutting down. Right before the vote would win. So that way it wouldn't show the public that Trump lost. Literally, any fucking time that Trump would lose, even in the smallest regard in the public's view, this is censored beyond belief. Like, just, this guy is such a goddamn waste of fucking space. You know what I mean? Like that disgusting of an individual. Like he was the guy that he's getting the he wants to cheat in everything. He sets it up and rigs it so that you can't even win. Yeah, I'll bet even on his own golf course, he has a certain starting point where he does his drive from, but everybody else does their drive in a different spot, and I'll bet he has an excuse, right? Something like that, right? I'll bet. Who cheats at golf? Who cheats at, well, any game? What? It's a game. What does it matter? That's the point of these things. The point of culture like that, the competitive nature of it, is supposed to draw in guys like that so they can get that shit out. And they don't take it out on the rest of society. You know, he had a bad father. Period. Period. Like Donald should have been like a fucking quarterback or something. Who knows? Sure as hell shouldn't have been a businessman. This guy failed every single fucking business venture he tried. Every last one. Oh, what's that? Oh, Trump Airline? Why don't you look up how that worked out? Trump Airline. Why don't you look up how that worked out? Remember Trump University? Oh, that's right. Oh, now we're starting to remember. That's right. His businesses weren't intended to be successful. They were intentionally scams so that he could siphon money. Oh, that's right. He wanted to fail at them. That's right. It was on purpose. Duh. Hence why he has this endless thing where he pretends that he hates to fucking fail. Duh. So that way, it's an endless fucking the most perfect alibi, because if he just makes it seem like he absolutely hates to fucking fail at things, then people will never fucking question. It's not that genius. I could see right through it. So can everybody else. It's not that smart. And all the feds were onto it, so he fired them all. That's why he fired Comey. Comey didn't call for him to be assassinated. What are you kidding me? And aside from that, this is a very obvious picture that meant getting rid of him. It means to get rid of him. That's all it meant. You know, like it was like kitchen talk. He was using a very common term used in the kitchen that means you get rid of this item because you're out of ingredients. So therefore, you can't have the item. So you get rid of it off the menu. It has absolutely never been used to determine unaliving of any kind. It's cooking. And they actually went with this. No, like, obviously Comey doesn't like the fucking guy because he's a criminal. But it has nothing to do with saying he wanted him assassinated. You think? No. The whole point is, if he assassinates him, how is he going to charge him? He doesn't want to assassinate the guy he's trying to charge. Then he doesn't have anybody to charge. What are you, fucking 5 years old? I need to tell you this? Comey wouldn't want that. What are you... God damn, that's dumb. The fact that anybody on Trump's side, like, voting for Trump would believe that is so stupid. You know zero about investigations, police work, or any of this due process shit. And this is what shows it. This is not it. Like, the whole point is, like the moment that he does that, well, it's gone. There he is. He doesn't have anybody left to charge anymore. So, you know, like, that theory's gone out the window now. Jeez. The fact that you don't do that with your brain. You can't charge somebody if they're not around. That's the fucking point. He doesn't want that. He wants this guy to face that. He wants him out of office. Removed. Just like everybody else does. So it means to remove something from the menu, to take it off temporarily. That's what it means. Okay? So I mean, like, that whole thing was absurd. And like, again, this is where the whole point is that the feds often actually probably do run into things that they just don't have time to deal with, and often probably do sort of like, but like, what you have to realize is, do you want the feds to sit there and ruin some like young person's life or something like that? Or do you want them to go in and warn the young person so that they then make a different choice instead? Okay. Do you understand? Now versus Trump's feds, they're just going to go in and kidnap the guy, throw him in a facility. He's illegal. Get him out of here. They're going to try to kidnap the rest of his family too. They're going to use his information for that. That's why they want it. It's all about the web of people they find because of that. So it's just to make these disgusting cops that want to use the system to build a career and a paper trail out of not actually finding any criminals, just wrongfully accusing people and sort of throwing them somewhere. So nothing really lawful about this, where it's the sort of thing where what Trump did essentially just create a gray area. Where we're introduced ICE, but it's not exactly legal immigration enforcement. So it's just a gray area. It's not really is that really legal? Just because the president signed a thing that's no, not really. So like that's part of the problem. And then so like really it's just gonna end up, like lots of lawsuits and backlog the courts and all kinds of problems. So with the feds, what you have to realize is that's one extreme versus the other. With the Democrats, you're probably going to have the guys in there that are going to do that first thing I said, where they're going to try not to ruin the guy's life, give him options, because he's an asset at that point. Clearly, they found something because of that guy, so maybe they could actually, it's the sort of thing where it's like, well, it wasn't all bad, but he wasn't in the right to begin with. So they want to steer it away that actually just corrects the person, unlike correctional facilities actually don't do. That's a way better outcome, in my opinion, than what Trump would do. He's a criminal. Ah! Yes, but like, does the punishment, like, again, like, if the point is to correct the person's behavior so that you get what I'm saying? Like, are you actually trying to help the situation, or are you just trying to brand people criminals? Okay, Trump's a criminal. He's been in there. He's been a criminal. He's been a criminal his whole life. But this billionaire position, this presidential position, this position he finds himself in has given him every chance to turn around and change. Every last fucking chance. And there are some of us that sit here like dying basically to never to never ever harm or seek harm or just literally just mind our own fucking business. And meanwhile, this motherfucker, every goddamn chance he gets, again, how many cyber how many guys do you think are in cybersecurity that could fuck your life? How many do you think are in cybersecurity that could just fuck your life? But do they? But do they? Okay. You get what I'm saying? The person that turns that and would rather attack somebody and harass somebody because they think they're evil. It's sort of an evil person. But the person that would turn that into a good thing and just try to use it to catch, to educate, to awareness, to fix, to well, maybe we're getting somewhere. See what I'm saying? Where one is revengeful. There ain't no avenging there. You're not an avenger or anything. Nobody died. Like nobody close to you died. You're not like avenging somebody. You're not a like a cop. Somebody took out your partner. No. That's not what we're talking about. And even that, under certain parameters, is questionable. That's the whole point behind that. Using that question is it's the endless question of what right and wrong, of testing that boundary. So again, if you would regularly seek out what you do, you regularly seek out to harass, you're the evil. That's you. I shouldn't have to explain that. What is the Trump administration doing every single fucking day? These very radical Trump voters, they don't know anything about immigration. They don't do it themselves. They don't look at the process. It's like do you think that they're not under, like, again, when they come here, let's take all these English classes, tests all the time, history. They know more about American history than you do. Probably far more American than you are. They have to pay taxes. They don't get any of our benefits. They don't get any benefits. Oh yeah. When they work somewhere, they don't get benefits. Oftentimes, because they're not citizens. Why would they get benefits? Yet they pay taxes. So this is what people don't understand. They see it like this. And then these folks, they're just lucky they're fleeing a country that brands them a criminal. You know, again, you all are experiencing right now in real time what you will experience eventually. It's just going to come to you too. You just think it's about immigration right now. No, it's just about controlling anybody that speaks out against fascism. And so in that other country where they have, impoverished streets all over the place and there's theft everywhere, of course people are gonna fucking steal. Okay? So they're trying to get away from that and run from that and just get to a country where they don't necessarily have to do that. There's an opportunity for them to have a job or something like that. Now, do you get it? And then you're branding them a criminal? What? Why? Do you understand? If they do so, the point is, they are investigated. Their name goes into the thing. They get a little ID card. They get their picture taken. They are under huge scrutiny of fingerprints. They're fingerprinted. They're put in the system. They are put in a sanctuary city and put under watch like crazy. Because they are seeking that asylum. They are trying to start anew. So if they do it right, pass all their classes, they go through the system, eventually, yeah, they get it. But man, is that hard. You didn't have to do that. You were just born here. You probably went through the fucking school system, falling asleep in class, picking on people, being a douchebag your whole life. And you're so freaking entitled. Meanwhile, this person's far more American than you ever will be. And some of these folks go into military. They come here, they go right into the military, and our U.S. military will just take them. They'll just take them. And they get citizenship and everything. They'll die for the country. But, get them out of here. Get them out of here. What the hell's the matter with you? What the hell is the matter with you? This is why, again, like you just have a problem where you don't want, like you're racist. This is why, again, a wall is racist. A Texas and Mexico wall is racist because a wall didn't stop anybody. This is modern day. A wall? Oh, gee, let me think of all of human history where a wall in a modern time would cause a fucking problem. Oh, gee. Oh, let me think. Oh, that's right. We have guns now. It's not bows and arrows and spears and... Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Right, we have guns now. Right, that's right. So if you have a wall, suddenly there's no line of sight. So if people are crossing, this actually obstructs your ability to see them. Oh, right. So on a basic level, it's actually fucking stupid. You're now obstructing your own line of sight. So now you're building a wall, maintaining it. This shit's probably concrete, right? Expensive as all hell. In the desert where it's really fucking hard to build. God damn, you people are stupid as hell. And some of you claim to be so smart with this stuff, too. like countrymen and stuff like that. Like, you claim to be so smart with this stuff, and you're just dumb as hell. Line of sight. Another reason is, again, if I just ran up with a bunch of people carrying a ladder, guess what? A wall makes it easier. Imagine that. Now I can put the ladder against the wall, climb the ladder. It's not moving because the wall is stable, and you can't even see me. So now I just have to find a loop in your security system because you're too dumb to understand that a fence is more secure than a wall because you can see through it. Ugh. Ugh. Gah. Let me ask you something. How much easier is it for you? Think about this, parkour and all that. Anybody, all right, you see a fence with barbed wire or you see a concrete wall. Which one? Do you know which one you're picking? I know which one I'm picking. Yeah. And as a martial arts instructor, again, I'm not going to instruct you to be climbing walls, but again, you know, if I'm gonna give you instruction on how to get up one just for the sake of self defense, like you're running, uh, I'm gonna instruct you that a fence will slow you down. It will, 100%. Now, if you're so dumb you don't put barbed wire in the top, okay, fine, a fence ain't slowing you down. But yeah. Oh, what about a wall with barbed wire? Nope. Nope. It's solid. Nope. Wrong. Now, again, how do you clear a fence with barbed wire? Oh, yeah, just put a rug over it. Everybody knows that. But the point is, the fence, the fence, here's the thing. With a fence, now you can have about half a mile back where they can't see the real fence. That's what you can do with border security. You don't have the real wall where it's the real fence where it's supposed to be. You have it way front. So it causes a problem for those that are trying to take advantage of that. And again, nobody's really doing this in mass quantity until Trump said there was a border crisis. So then everybody started doing it. They would never like literally it was not that was not how they were getting that was not how they were doing it. They were doing it through like they would traffic them I think through like trailers and stuff like that. The only reason I say that is just because of some of the reports that I've seen, you know, some of the videos I've watched. Um, you know, they're just reporting that it's legal points of entry. Like they're just cleared to go through and they just go through. It's not the wall. They're just figuring out a smart way to do it. They're not going to do it that way. So anyway, that's the point is when you do a wall, this is the most basic dumb very expensive non-solution that again falls apart and works against you. A couple of different 2 to 3 different fences allows you alert statuses if you have people violating that fence and then time to respond in between that you know where you can have motion sensors or whatever, dogs, whatever. Okay? Does that make sense? Um, with satellite imagery, you don't necessarily I don't know that you need motion sensors anymore, but it may not be a bad idea for alarm systems. You know, like you lose track of somebody, suddenly you have a motion sensor. Well, now you know where they are again. So, there's infinitely better solutions than what Trump is saying. Okay? And this idiot comes up with them. All right? So, after ICE shoot and unalive an American citizen in Minneapolis, why does the director of the FBI immediately have that person's gun? The one that they were looking for, that they harassed him about? Why does the director of the FBI immediately have that person's gun? I know why, but I want to know if you guys can figure it out. See what this is so pathetic. The fact that I can figure this out, it's plain as day. These guys are this bad at being criminals, and everybody else has no idea. This is why it's really bad. Because this shit's so obvious to me. Why? Why is the director of the FBI? He should be sitting in an office somewhere, going to a meeting. Why does he immediately, after this guy is unalived, again, like a half an hour later, he admitted on camera that he had his gun. Smart journalist that asked him that, by the way. Good job. Kash Patel, like basically like a half an hour after this happened, admitted that he had in his possession the gun Alex Preddy had. What the fuck? Why? Why didn't the FBI field office in that area have it and deal with it? Why does the director from Washington have it? What? What? The fuck does this guy think he's doing? You don't do that. What? So he's just conducting law enforcement whenever he sees fit, wherever. That's the reality. And what happened was the director of the FBI ordered ICE to find this guy because Kash Patel had credible information. This guy had an illegal firearm. So there's paper trail and information that they were looking for him and looking into him and followed him there and knew he was there and were harassing him and even wanted that gun, which he wasn't brandishing. And that's why Kash Patel had it, because he wanted to be able to dispose of that evidence. Now, whatever about that was going to make him look guilty, he was going to get rid of it. That's why he had it. It's that simple. So therefore, the investigation that then would be into Kash Patel, where he is found out to be a terrorist hunting down white people. I want to remind you, this guy's not white either. And he's a terrorist hunting down white people. Yeah. And then he gets rid of the evidence. That's why he had it. And they know full well they're watching me because I sit here and I just tell you this shit that nobody else can figure out. And they're like, Jesus, how does he know? Because they just figure it out. They're this dumb. You know, it's like, I think I called this out in the past too and looked it up and then just forgot. Ben Mysalis from Midas Touch, he called this out recently. You guys know that Trump has his wife buried on his golf course, right? You know this, right? It's not normal. Somebody doesn't just have their ex-wife buried in their yard. That's a crime. You don't bury somebody in your yard. That is a crime. You can't do that. There are reasons why we have cemeteries and things like that. For that reason. God. You can't just have somebody buried on a golf course. He pointed that out again recently. It's like, again, nobody talks about this stuff where you can just find that shit out. It's like, how is not see it exposed CNN's not talking about this? What? You'd think they of all people would want it. Yeah, they only got sued. You literally, I mean, it's a fact though. And like, anytime somebody comes up from his past where they're like, I got some information, they they disappear. Oh, that's right, Epstein. Oh, wait. Oh, right, that's right. Oh, wait. Huh. Wait. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, wait. And he was Jewish. Fuck. And he was a spy. Apparently, he was a Russian spy. Did you know that? Mossad. Mossad. He's a spy. For them. Yeah. That's why Trump's covering it up. Because so is Trump. Epstein got caught. Trump didn't. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. And everyone's like, huh, how does he know? That's who's hitting the surprise. How does... Gee. Oh. How does any analyst, all those Chinese people and Korea and Russians and other countries that are like, how does America do it? That's how. This. 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 Freedom of information. Analyzing information. Statistics. And I do think that they're running some shit to manipulate like past CIA agents and stuff. Like, I do think they are trying to do that. I think they are trying to manipulate these people to be podcasters, creators, and just again to ruin your faith in the government. You know, with those guys talking about that stuff, the more stuff that comes out, you are just gonna, you cannot stand it even more. Do you know why John Kiriakou doesn't like Obama? Because John Kiriakou is a Russian spy. Now, he is an ex-CIA agent, but he's also a Russian spy. He sort of admitted to that. Obama was literally unaliving Russian spies that were literally sitting here doing what the Russian spy is doing to me. All the shit that's happening to me, that's a Russian doing that. So Obama was just literally just going, nope, you do not do that shit to my people in my country, period. And sending a message. And John Kiriakou, Mr. Humanitarian, who doesn't have the balls to understand what certain things are for. That's the reality. The reality is that he doesn't have balls. He thinks he does. But he has balls while hiding behind this or that. Okay. Trump's the same way. Pathetic. It's like, he's helping out Qatar instead of you. He loves Qatar. He'll accept a plane from them, which, by the way, is literally illegal. It's literally a crime. Same president that just spent. How much fucking money did that cost? Just to have a UFC event at the White House? Literally the most bullshit, scammy lie America has. UFC. The most bullshit, scammy, bullshit lie America has. UFC. And one of the most forefront bullshitters of them all, Joe Rogan, still announcing for it. God, that guy is so fucking full of shit. He couldn't get more of his full of his own shit if he had shit coming right out of his mouth as he talked. What a joke. And then meanwhile, they actually host this event and have actual badasses do a flyby. People that deserve the money they get. Again, Trump doesn't deserve this. This piece of trash He should have died already. He should have just, you know what I mean? Because he's a piece of trash. But just because he's got Congress in his pocket, he can just steal money from you and fund his illegal UFC event at the White House. Incredibly illegal to have a UFC event at the White House, by the way. Incredibly illegal. Can't do it. Matter of national security. Incredibly, insanely illegal. Just the sheer number of ordinances he probably violated in his own city doing that. What the fuck are you shifting my bitrate around before? I already looked it up, you dumb bitch. You violated like 10 different ordinances in the fucking city of Washington, D.C. doing your fucking UFC thing. You dumb bitch. So what the fuck are you shifting my bitrate around before, you stupid cunt? Oh, right. To control my trending. That's right, because I'm calling you out and you know I'm getting views. That's right. So you guys know how they're removing views in real time, right? Okay, so you guys have seen how many views have been in and out of here. Realistically, after 2 hours of seeing a bunch of viewers and stuff, we should have a bunch of views, right? We should have hundreds. 49. They're trying to say 49. Just like when I did my last stream and posted it, and every time views start happening on that, they just remove them. Just like when I did my upload again for the Shaman Village, and every time I tell people to go watch that, people do go watch it. People are watching it all the time. That thing probably has, roughly 50,000 views or so. But they're halting it at 50 views. It's been halted there several different times. I've literally watched it go up to 53, 54, and then completely go back to 50 just to get halted at 49 again. Go up to 50, 51, back down to 50 again. Why is this happening when this was uploaded, what, months ago? Why is this everything on my channel? Donald, orange face, jackass, piece of shit, gay Trump. Why is this? Why is this every stream? Oh yeah, by the way, did you know Trump hates if people think he's gay? He hates this. By the way. Call him gay as shit. Like make as many gay jokes as you possibly can at this guy. He hates it. Call him gay. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because he's secretly gay. And he's always hidden it. That's why he has a problem with, like, putting women in a certain place and stuff like that. Because he can't be honest with himself about his own masculinity. That's why he's always struggled with this. I swear to God. Yes, I have psychoanalyzed Donald Trump. Period. Perfectly, too, I might add. He's gay. This guy, have you heard him talk about, have you heard him like he's like, oh boy, boy, he's such a nice looking young man. Like he talks about like young men and how nice looking they are. You ever notice that? And he's just like, he's like doing this a lot seemingly around the other times where he's sort of being very oddly upfront about other things too. Remember when he said, if the Iran deal goes through and it's good, I'm going to take full credit. But if it doesn't, I'm going to blame JD Vance. Do you remember when he actually said that? Like, you know, like a week ago or something like that, right? And then that's exactly what he fucking did. Do, do you remember that? Do, do you, do you remember when he admitted that he was just gonna literally fucking take credit if it was good and then blame it on Vance if it wasn't, and then he proceeded to do exactly that? And then nobody was like, haha, it's not a joke anymore. Everybody's like, oh, let's just let him do it. Do you remember that? A fucking week ago? Not even. Yeah, that's called dementia. And him accidentally being honest. That's what that's called. Donald Trump has always lied about shit. We know that. We know he's a criminal. He's a convict. He's been twice impeached, not removed. 38 accounts, right? 38, I think. 39, maybe. Maybe even more. Maybe it's like 40 something. I think it might be even. It's a lot. He's always lied. Why is he suddenly all of a sudden slipping up now? Well, that's where you need to recognize what's going on. Actually said, how's it? And remember, this is what his eyes looked like when he said it. This is what his eyes looked like when he said it. I don't know how the deal's going. How's the deal going? It's not going great. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, if the deal goes well, okay, if the deal goes well, I'm taking full credit. But if it goes south, we're gonna blame G.D. Vance for that one. Oh, what? I was giving a speech. Let me just tell you that we're killing it. Our economy's great. Inflation, inflation. I got rid of it. It's gone. Everybody says what a great president I am. That's what he looks like. Literally can't even open his eyes anymore. Physically can't open his eyes. What does this mean? Help, medical professionals, help me out. Brilliant deductions. Let's go. Just start making your brilliant deductions. You know, this is really stupid that when nobody's fucking all these dumbasses wearing their red hats, nobody's making what does it mean when somebody's eyes are squinty and bulging? Morons. What does it mean? Duh. What does it mean? Squinty and bulging. All the cops, all the medical professionals. What would you do if you saw that fucker in front of you driving a car? What would you do? Yeah, you don't even want to say it. You know full well. That guy is literally standing because of that medication, because of all of the fucking drugs he is in his system. That's it. That's the only way. He is literally they're probably like, man, what's the only thing that's going to get this guy's heart moving again? He's just shutting down. What are we going to do? I don't know. Get him some medical marijuana. That seems to work. Yeah, let's do that. We'll just have this guy just, I swear to God, like, I feel like this is like what they're doing. They're doing that. They're doing like, they're probably pumping this guy full of fucking just uppers all the time. Upper, energy drink, fucking medical marijuana. Who the fuck knows? They're doing it, I guarantee you. Oh, by the way, they don't even gotta go medical. Just to let you know, I say that I'm in Pennsylvania. In Washington, D.C., it's recreational. Yeah. Just letting you know. So all the other states that haven't done that yet, why the fuck's it recreational in D.C., yet you haven't done it? What are you so afraid of? You wanna outlaw cigarettes? I'm right there. You wanna outlaw something? Outlaw fucking cigarettes. Or better yet, just don't even outlaw tobacco and all that. Outlaw these fiberglass filters. Outlaw that. The point is, nobody knows what's going on anymore. Nobody knows anything up. Half these cops that would like be very MAGA and based and charge somebody for something in their mind that they think is right. One state over, there's a cop doing complete polar opposite from you. And you're fine with that. Well, that's how we do it down here. And you're such an asshole. You don't understand what this does to the United States. You're supposed to be united. So when immigrants actually come here and then that's how they're treated, you're supposed to be united. It's almost like your entire system is intentionally designed to literally be racist against people that do drugs. You know, again, it's not the white people, it's them. You know, Donald Trump, he's on all kinds of drugs right in front of your fucking face. But we don't care about that because he's rich. And again, this is what pisses me off. Anytime a celebrity has a problem or something like that, like Will Smith or Justin Timberlake, oh, people can't fucking wait to put that shit on blast. They can't fucking wait. You know, Justin Timberlake, he gets pulled over, has a very seemingly innocent interaction where this guy like blatantly feels terrible and like just like the lightest hearted outcome of this scenario, like you can tell he feels stupid, he shouldn't have done, like, and I'm not saying he was in the right. I'm saying, like, obviously everybody goes through shit. But the point is, clearly that became a very public problem that he's going through. And that's all that is. That's all that is. And shame on anybody for sitting here and taking that information and getting the public all to gang up on this person just because we know who he is. Shame on you. The fuck is the matter with you? He's a person. What the fuck? What did you just make him, Justin Timberlake, so that one day you could sit here and harass him endlessly? What he has to be perfect? God damn you. Damn all of you that do that. You! All of you that didn't get caught for the very same thing. Half of you are cops that didn't get caught for the very same thing, and probably way worse shit happened with you. Yeah, you got away with it, but he didn't. And you're the one saying it. You are. You know you're the one saying it because you want to look like the one that's saying it. Damn it. Shame on you. Now, the point is, people can change themselves around and go through what they go through in life and come out the other side. It's up to us to give them the opportunity to do that. And I've already told you guys, Robert Downey Jr. is the epitome of that example. And he doesn't even mind, I think, people saying that. He's been very public about how that went down. You can find the pictures. It was bad. He had a past, but he moved away from it and gracefully became Tony Stark. A very coveted icon who has now graduated into an undying image in the younger growing up generation's mind that you know, this is a hero. This is somebody to you know, model my behaviors or my lifestyle after. You know, they're the person I should look up to, not Donald Trump. No, this person that took and turned themselves around and became this image of the epitome of what a hero does. That's what we should be doing. All of us. You know, the moment I've said this before, but the moment that thing with Will Smith happened and the Chris Rock, Will Smith, the moment that happened, every last one of you should have said, shut the fuck up, leave him alone. Both of them. Because there's going to be assholes no matter what you do. So shut the fuck up and mind your business. You weren't there. Everybody that was embarrassed by it already. Do you need to rile it all up the next day in the media and all these? No. And now what? This guy has to endlessly be the epitome of prayer and goodness and shit like that for the rest of his life, or you know, walk on eggshells forever. Or now everybody's gonna never let Will Smith forget that he slapped Chris Rock on stage. What the fuck is the matter with you? I sure as hell won't do that. I don't give a shit. I won't look at him any differently. He made a mistake. The terrible thing was what the awards ceremony did. Airing it, showing it. The media. Everybody that acted irresponsible around that. That was the problem. And a very real personal thing happened. Yeah, I mean, the guy didn't bring a gun. He didn't have a weapon. He didn't do anything that would have harmed him. He was insulted and embarrassed and was going through something. Clearly. The fuck is the matter with you people? Pointing and laughing at the person that entertains you. That you supposedly look up to, you like this person, you would claim to be their fan. No. No, you would equally sit there and drag their name through the mud and muck just to get headlines. Fuck that. I'll sit here I'll sit here and say the unpopular thing then. I don't give a shit. As long as it's the right thing. You don't. That's not how life works. And you would want that respect too if that happened to you. You become a movie actor or something like that. Maybe you're. I don't know anything about that relationship. I'm not going to talk about it. But shit happens. What if that happened to you? Would you want everybody covering it, talking about it, just playing the clip over, over? Now, now there's a culture behind it. That's what everybody's gonna think. This and that. No. You did that. He didn't do that. He did something that if you did it, everybody'd fucking forget about it the next day. 10 years from now, I'd be like, hey, remember that funny time when this dirt. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And everybody laugh about it. Not in this case. No. And that's what's fucked up. This shouldn't be what happens. They're people too. It'd be one thing if he was a dick about it, but he's not. And neither of them were. That was not that situation. It's stuff like this that this type of propaganda uses against you. Especially that. A lot of people now have a very low opinion of black people. But they shouldn't. Because those people are just racist to begin with if they are. Because if that causes your low opinion of black people, you're a racist to begin with. Because you're just lumping them all together. I mean, again, it's no different than if they did it with white people, you know? A white dude acts a certain way. Well, all white people are like that. Oh, see, I can't trust whites, you know? It's not okay. You see how funny that sounds? Like, that's the point. Nobody's doing that. There are these things that still exist in our society we have to eliminate, and they're being riled up right now. Where it's very clear that these disgusting individuals on a federal level became aware of a real racist problem in this country. And instead of doing something about it, they're riling it up. Now, it's not Obama that's going to do that. Why would Obama want people to be... No. Definitely not Biden either, because he likes Obama. He was Obama's vice president. That doesn't make any sense. And the Democrats, typically, again, they love Obama. Just like they're not the ones that gutted the Voting Rights Act. The Republicans did, taking voting rights away from blacks, actually making it more difficult for black people to vote in their states. That just happened. I submit to you, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was Donald Trump. Everything that we've talked about, everything, and again, it was always leading to this, but I had to get you guys there. You don't understand anything. You don't, like, how long have I been on this now and I'm finally here? But we had to go to season 14 for you to get it. For these guys, it's very, very easy. Here's how it works. The guys came before, they did all the work. They have this technology and they can use it, but would only use it in very small circumstances where they need to and get court approval. Well, when you have criminals come in, Donald Trump, and get rid of anybody competent in the FBI, what's going to happen is they're going to use that technology for criminal behavior. There's not going to be a checks and balance thing where they're going to be like, well, we should do this because, it's not right. Are you kidding me? So here's all it looks like. Again, at any given time, the federal FBI building, and again, not like your state office, not usually, individuals at the FBI have access to certain technology. And at any given time, they really, really can tap your microphone, literally just listen to anything going on. Your phone's microphone, this microphone, TV, whatever. They can do that. They are not supposed to just do it willy-nilly. Again, very under scrutiny, court order sort of thing. But again, now that Trump comes in, who's he going to do it to? People he doesn't like, people he knows hate him. Maybe some of these very iconic black people in the U.S. that whites might even look up to, such as myself. To ruin the image, to ruin these people, to ruin the building we have done, whites and blacks together, specifically under this umbrella, through culture, through seeing the black man in Hollywood actually take the lead role. Remember that was the whole point. Back in the 80s, the black dude was always just that second dude that didn't do anything. He would just have a funny one-liner. It was very racist. But that's how they wanted it. And that's the production. That's not the writers, the actors. That's just how it was. And very slowly, do you remember what movie did it? Now, I do. I'm sure a lot of you don't. And recently, Ryan Reynolds stood for something. Thank you for this, by the way. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes. Love him. Love that dude. Blade. Who's him? Wesley Snipes started getting lead roles. Now, again, other actors were, but Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon and Wesley Snipes like these were arguably like really really big like quintessential important cultural things. You had one was a cop, Lethal Weapon series, and arguably the more well put together, one that's always been reliable, and he's the better, sort of better, more reliable one, and the white guy is actually the crazy, Mel Gibson. Um and by the way, I don't yeah. Um and Wesley Snipes, it is. And Wesley Snipes, a hero, vampire that doesn't have any of the weaknesses. And he's cool as shit. And he gave Ryan Reynolds a chance. Remember in Blade Trinity? That was the whole point. Nobody would put Ryan Reynolds in a movie. And the only reason anybody even like I shouldn't say that. A lot of people watched that because Ryan Reynolds was so funny. That was all I would kept hearing, because the story was terrible on that. They really didn't do like the best job with that as far as the story. But I loved that the cast came back. It was a little weird. Um I I wanted them to do a fourth because they brought Dracula into it and then didn't finish it. So, but that was the whole point. Was I remember that, was anybody talking about the movie at the time, they watched it because of Ryan Reynolds. And all the women too, they were like, his shirt is off, he's so hot, and stuff like that. So anyway, white men can't jump. That was probably a big one for Trump, where he was very racist. Probably he hates. Well, it was Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson classically has taken a stand against the guy. It was Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and I love that movie. But touched on those things. It's about that sort of, kind of growing up in the hood and trying to coexist. Sort of. It was really just more about two guys, again, in the hood that liked basketball and they wanted to play street ball, but one guy was white, one was black. That's it. But it's a good fucking movie. And even that was entertaining enough. So, like, the point is, you had these quintessential movies where it was obvious that the black man was starting to take the lead role more, and Hollywood was assisting with that. That's all. So again, culture showing a win to society on other parts of the world where people with dark skin are always suppressed. Because that's just how they've always done it. Do you know why I think this really happened? I think it's because all the white people were the frail, intelligent ones that wanted to hide indoors. And all the blacks were the workers, brawny men that were attracting the women, and the white dudes oppressed them and hated it. I think that's what actually happened. Look at sports. Like, it doesn't take long for them to show us up for the most part. I'm not saying it's everybody, but like, I mean, just look at, I mean, it's like getting a Mexican dude in baseball, it's like he's just gonna hit him, So, recognize where genetically there was something going on there that clearly we oppressed. With they are just better. And we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And it's not funny. It's really not, but it's yeah, it's just the sort of thing where you think about it. It's like, I can't believe that's really a thing. It's true. Um, so before I get off stream, I'll remind you of the defense mechanism. And again, like, I mean, like, this, everybody learns this inherently if you're picked on and stuff like that, but for those who are you don't get it, I guess. But you want to remind yourself that it's the same defense mechanism way back, way back. And it's the same type of attack too. The reason they're doing it is because they know that it's worked for them before. They've seen people shrivel up and give up before, so they continue this concept. That's why Russia does it, North Korea does it, anybody does it. They know it works systemically on a fundamental level to disheartened, to dismerit people, to bring them down on a fundamental level. And again, that's just talking about bullying at that fundamental level, that initial thing. So, for example, just like, we use a real life world example, okay? Why do you think the person is so good at the sport that they're good at? Why do you think they're able to get that good? Why do you think that eventually happens? Again, practice, sure. But what about those people that are rookies that sort of just walk up and everybody's wondering, like, what is confidence? What is this thing? Well, there it is. That's what it actually looks like. It's not bullying. It's the opposite of that. It's ignoring it. It's the ability to proceed forward regardless. You're not focused on that. It's the ability to relax and focus in and do what you're there to do and get it done and weed out all the rest. People running interference here on me have determined I am the teacher of this. So they're running interference on me. Yeah, you can really pull an ace out of your ass and hit that home run first try. You can. Right? Because technically a robot could do it, right? Yeah, like, technically speaking, we know the physics of the ball and the bat. Really, it's just a matter of exactly where you hit it based on how it's coming at you. How you hold your hands, the angle, everything. So technically speaking, if you hit it at exactly the right angle for how it's coming at you, almost no effort is required, simply just that which of swinging the bat. Hence why when you do sports, anything, your brain, when you relax, will do it. Knows how. We are in the modern world. It's seen everything. This is how you ascend. It's all in there. Calm down. Focus. Do it. That's what Shia meant. He didn't know how to say it, though. He just came out and went, do it! Just do it! That's what that means. He figured it out, too. He just doesn't know how to say it. But he's right. It really is just do it. And it works. Every time. There can't be doubt. There can't be a single shred of this bully, this. It pulls, it tugs. Do you know why? That's muscles constricted, blood flow constricted, capillaries constricted, everything. Breath control, everything. Every last detail. But when you get it, and you just go, you know what? Fuck this. And you just get up there, and you just line it up, and you just swing. There's times that you did that. That's why it worked. I promise. You lined the bat up because you didn't think about it. You didn't think about where to put the bat. You didn't think about where the ball was. You just did it. Because your brain can do all that. It can slow down the perception of time, too. So you get practice, and it becomes muscle memory, second nature. Really, it's all just about getting up there and just swinging. Because you already know how to do that. That's why it takes practice. Because the physical limitations of the body are still there. You still have to control these limbs. You still have to tell your conscious brain, move that right arm, move that left arm. There it is, the physical limitations. But that's it. It is the connection, the time it takes to tell your brain to move the arm, and what happens in that period of time. That's it. So, I submit to you, if there's something you want to do and something's holding you back and you just feel like you're not good enough or something, stop it. Because you are. You already are. It's that wall you're about to break through. And that's your subconscious mind. Somewhere in there, there's a little devil hiding. And it doesn't like you. And it's your own brain, but it doesn't like you. And it's going to interject something that says doubt. 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 That's the wall. It's you. But if other people are riling this up, sometimes it's really, really hard to push that away, and we got to get around it. We got to get away from it. We got to clear that head. So sometimes pushing through that doubt can be done by going back to what we just did. What did you just do? That the doubt planted itself. What did you just do? That the doubt said, here I sit. Here I am, right here, right now. Why right now? What did you do? What did you think of? What happened? Analyze that. Get it out of there. Go back to what you just did and do it. Take that out. Whatever it is, do that thing again. Now try to figure out where's that thing coming from. Push through. Relax. Focus. Some of this stuff, some of you like, you'll ask like how am I like, and listen, I'm not the best drummer in the world, but some people were asking me like how I was so fast at drumming and stuff like that. That's all I'm doing. I'm actually a seemingly, as you guys know, awkward, sort of clumsy person. I've admitted this. Doesn't change anything. I'm going to proceed forward. I don't care. So the point is, regardless of that, I was always going to try to do it. Randy Castillo would sit there and just speed his sticks up. And I'm just like looking at it. And I'm just like, they're just speeding up. How is he doing that? So I was going to do it too. And I was not going to let physical limitations hold me back. It just became about that, just relaxing and focusing. And the more I focus on what I'm doing, the more I can't play. If I sit there and I'm like thinking about this or this or this too much, I can't play because I'm thinking about it too much. I'm trying too hard. That's the try too hard thing. Tried too hard. But when I stop doing that, and I just instead go play fast. Play fast. Faster. No. Faster. Even faster. Just happens. So I assure you, to those runners on the field playing football, and you're running down that field and you're digging deep, and that guy's gaining on you, crunch that torso, and breathe that breath and focus forward. None of that shit. Forward. Faster. Forward. Faster. Breath control. Bursts of energy. Get it done. There's no time for doubt. You're already running down the field. Ball's in your hand. That end zone's in your sights. Faster. Forward. Period. The coach that takes that, it's free. I'm never going to coach NFL football. The coach that takes that, you're going to do better. The players that you listen to that use it, you're going to do better. There's not going to be any of that other shit. You're going to have less injuries. Because you weren't thinking about all that nonsense. You were just running. If you fall, you fall. Deal with it. There are far more injuries because people project a fall than when they fall by accident. Because they stiffen up. Run. 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 Run down that field, Dolphins. Please, for the love of God, win some games. I'm just kidding. No, I'm really not. Win games. I'm not kidding about that. Win games. All right, guys. All right. I'm going to get out of here. But I just wanted to remind you all that we run interference against the nonsense that people are doing here. So sometimes things might be a little hectic. It might seem like I'm a little off the deep end. It's not the case. Well, I'm 6 feet from the no. No. Okay. Interference. Okay. Don't threaten violence against the president. Okay. I don't condone violence against the president. It's not the way to go. It's not. No matter how many confetti buttons you push, I'm not going to change my mind. We don't threaten violence against the president. Okay. Not only that, you'd have to be a complete moron to think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just nobody is actually, like, actively thinks they're gonna assassinate the president that's in their right mind. Nobody. Okay? So, like, when you see this is an individual that was either pointed to do it by what I've kind of shown you here. Okay? Or, again, complete psychopath. Okay? There's just, that's it. So, all right? And, you know, obviously we, most people, we don't harm the president. We don't seek harm against him. Okay? All right? We have due processes. We have checks and balances. That's it. It's that simple. Okay? There's a real good chance that this guy is going to do whatever he thinks will rile you up for the sake of using that executive power while he's in office. So there's a real good chance all of us getting all riled up is only helping his cause to stay in power longer. Okay? I assure you, the Democratic Party will be flooded with good candidates this time. They aren't going to mess this up again. Gavin Newsom is already your AAA S tier candidate. This guy is ace in the fucking hole. He is what you want. He's your movie president. Y'all want a movie president? You want a guy that looks the part? That's what you wanted, right? The whole point is posturing, okay, Gavin Newsom. Promise. And trust me when I say they're going to be very terrified of this guy. He has single-handedly given California a record-breaking economy despite the United States. This economy competes with France. Literally one of the top in the world. That's California. That's what Gavin Newsom did in California as its governor. Okay. Because California has a history of sort of, you know, kind of electing people that just kind of do the job. Yeah. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger did the job and wasn't really biased. He's actually one of the Republicans. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. That's what you all forget. You all forget that at one time we had some good ones. It's like, yeah, it seems like so long ago. John McCain was one of the last ones. Yeah, Trump forced out all the young ones, remember? That was the point. People in government be aging and stuff should not have to fear Trump. They shouldn't have to fear retaliation just because they're sticking up for you. You never stuck up for them. And yet, what I want to remind you is that there's no gigantic conspiracy here with Democrats. That's not ever been with Republicans. You can actually sort of say that now, like blatantly there is. But with Democrats, it's just not the case. And there's never been any evidence of that. With Democrats, really, what you look at is a lot of times people coming in, just citizens out of pocket trying to do the job. And they nail it. Sometimes not, but quite frankly, when they just do the job and stick up for the people, that's what you want. That's your representation. That's the point. It doesn't look like being a rich person and wearing a suit. So what it looks like. Now, I mean, they do that for business meetings, but that's not what it looks like. Yeah, what I want to remind you, the Democrats live here too. Okay? They're citizens. They grew up here. They opened gifts under the tree just as you did at Christmas time. The Jewish kids had Hanukkah. The regular kids had Christmas. Just because they're suddenly Democrats that, again, ran for office in their areas or something like that. Again, if anything, that should tell you that that person was a beacon for the area. People loved that person. They kicked ass. Not these senators that these morons endlessly elect. over and over and over. I'm not talking about a senator. That's not what we're talking about. Okay? This is the point. And fucking Al Green. Al Green. Do y'all even know who Al Green is? So, like, I just personally think this guy needs to be permanently in history books in so fucking many ways. Like, he endlessly tries so hard. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think this guy does this for his health? He walks in with a fucking cane. His hair is dry as shit. He looks like he's super uncomfortable all the time. Do you think he's doing it for his health? Unelected. He's there all the time, speaking on your behalf in front of Congress. Gigantic visuals, calling them out on their bullshit. And you don't even know who Al Green is. You don't even know who he is. Bet you don't even know who the fuck he is. That's what you're saying to yourself. Who the fuck's Al Green? That's what you're saying right now. Guarantee it. Look him up before he did political stuff. Look up Al Green. You're going to feel very un-American for not supporting the right side. Again, the Democrats are the patriots, not the Republicans. The Republicans are fucking terrorists. Al Green, perfect example. Patriot. Always been one. It doesn't look like fucking drunk-ass Pete Hegseth trying to do bench press shit, which, by the way, was incredibly unimpressive. You need help? You need help after a few fucking reps? What a joke. I saw your feet lifting up off the ground too, you dumb fuck. You don't even know how to lift. If your feet are lifting up off the ground, you're lifting too much, dumb fuck. Yeah, you're lifting so much, your center of gravity is off weight, and it's lifting you, and you can't even center yourself. So your feet are lifting. You're dumb. Yeah, it's like it's like literally like one of the you've no idea anything about lifting. You're stupid. And this is why you needed help. You're trying to lift something that's literally around your weight. And this is not normal. Physics doesn't support this. Humans cannot bench press things their own weight. They just can't do it. It puts too much strain on the elbows and wrists. It's not what those joints are for. That's why it's impressive when people can do it. So again, through long practice, exercise, proper training, sure, a bench press can be impressive. But powerlifting is never something to promote. Ever. It's incredibly unhealthy, and you shouldn't do it. Period. Less weight, more reps. Period. Let me ask you something. When I was doing my staff training for martial arts and I was spinning my iron staff, do you think the iron staff was 80 pounds? No, because I wouldn't be able to fucking lift the thing. How am I gonna sit here? I can barely lift it. Now I gotta spin it around and shit. No. No. Yeah, it should be difficult to move around, But that person better still be able to reasonably lift it. Otherwise, you're putting strain on joints. You're just damaging the foundation of the person's body. So inherently, you're injuring them just so that they can look bulky. Scar tissue, scar tissue, scar tissue, scar tissue, scar tissue, scar tissue, scar tissue. And then slowly but surely you get cancer. It was that simple. Or, you end up with like, like you go to bend down at like 50, 60 something years old and you have no flexibility anymore because you have so much scar tissue. And then one thing just puts you out of commission. One little thing. Because you did all that. You destroyed your joints. Just to get really big. Doesn't mean you're, have strength. Because strength is flexibility. So you would have been better off doing yoga. So like this is the point. I'll bet like those assholes like make fun of stuff like that. Like I'll bet Pete Hegseth is such a retard. He'd probably make fun of, probably call it gay or something. And literally, this is the gateway to grappling in martial arts. Period. It's the difference between somebody that understands grappling and somebody that doesn't. Flexibility. You will make every mistake in grappling because you're not flexible. Because you just don't possess the ability to be quick enough to understand where your center of gravity is. It's just always being thrown off because you're not flexible. So suddenly when you're flexible, you can shift your center of gravity a little more easily. It's like a loosey-goosey. And so just immediately thrown off by whatever that person does. That's simple. Anyway. These guys, they're too involved. They wouldn't listen, They're just going to listen to whatever this orange dumbass has to tell them. So, I just wanted to level with you guys about what's going on, the channel, everything. Again, I may say a joke here and there about somebody. Again, it's probably real good. It's probably a good chance I don't actually dislike that person or am, I feel the opposite. It's probably a decent chance. Okay. But maybe not, So, it's just they're causing all kinds of stuff. So, you can't make it easy and just saying. I'm sure there's plenty of people that were weirded out by the sheer number of times I may have mentioned your name after getting trended or something. Again, it's part of it. Like, again, that's the point. You're supposed to pick up on that. Because that's my point. I've noticed those patterns. So the point is, they're clearly going to get you to come in here right at those times where things are, real embarrassing and look really bad and want you to be really mad at me, and stuff like that. Okay? So they're gonna get it to see. They're gonna get you to see it right then. They're gonna. It's even down to the point of seeing a pattern of thinking and understanding that the person can get from A to H or possibly to H. And so therefore between, those letters, they're going to sit there and try to steer it that direction and run interference to steer it that direction. So when it finally does, they're ready to trend it to that group of people. Okay? It's kind of like that. So, like, if you sit there and you're somebody that talks out loud to yourself, stop. This is part of it. They use that to determine how they're gonna, you know, and then they'll use phone conversations and stuff. But the whole point is if, for example, if they can determine that John Kiriakou doesn't like Obama, that's really all it takes. So now all they got to do is run information that would convince John Kiriakou that Obama is actually secretly like some sort of Israeli spy or something. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to convince this guy of that. It's going to be that extreme because it has to be. And they'll have proof. It'll be made up, but they'll have proof. So, it's that simple. And then now they got a ex-CIA agent on their side. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Not okay. This should be highly illegal, and it is. But when we don't have checks and balances, who is going to stop it? The current FBI sure is not going to stop it because Kashi Patel is going to go right in there and be like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? All right. So anything the FBI tries to do right now, Kashi Patel, he's going to be like, what you doing? Just like anything the DOJ does that's actually intelligent. Remember, Elon Musk went through and fired. What the fuck does first of all, what the fuck does Elon Musk have anything to do with the Department of Justice? Nobody gave this guy a law degree. Secondly, you're going to fire everybody that's smart and competent and then suddenly just spend shitloads of money spying on civilians? Oh, okay. So that's what Elon's doing. The DOJ is his own personal spying tool. Okay? The reason I know this is because again, these guys are criminals getting away with criminal activity. So they're going to use these organizations to spy on those very criminal things so that other authorities don't find out about the criminal things. It's that simple. All right, guys. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. That's enough. I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna get out of here, okay? But thanks for watching. And the views are not as they seem. The views, all kinds of stuff. When you see a thumbnail too, by the way, on my channel, oftentimes it will look different for you. So those generated, they literally are scamming that to make me look very bad. So if you see a weirdo thumbnail or something like that, Again, YouTube is doing that. Oftentimes I will see a different thumbnail and then I go all the way in and then I finally confirm that you guys are looking at a thumbnail that looks totally different than the one I see. So there's all kinds of shit that YouTube just can't get right for some reason. So obviously this stuff is just you know, breaking all around me, talking about Trump more and more and escalating as I talk about Trump more and more over the years. And then just then when I mentioned it, we had 3 likes, but now we have 2. Now there's only 2 likes. So, all right, you know, I mean, come on, just the maturity level of that, okay? This is what we're dealing with. We're children are moderating YouTube. Fucking children, okay? So that's the reality. That's why. Yep, because YouTube is contracting through fucking children and stuff instead of who they should be. Oh yeah, let's just hire a 17-year-old to do all our modding for us and editing and stuff. So that's what YouTube does, but you know, who am I to tell you that? I haven't just been sitting here proving it right in front of you for the past several years, proving that all these people attack me and violate their policies and nobody does anything, even after you report it. And then you call the police and you report it to the police too, and the state police and all that, and the FBI. Wow. And still nobody does anything about the impersonation scammer that's literally just copy and pasting my content all over their channel and typing my street address into the title of videos and stuff like that. Like actual real terrorist-like things. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it? Almost like oh, I don't know, like there's some sort of terroristic control over the platform or something, you know, almost like that. Almost like some sort of terrorist organization has control over the platform. I wonder who would have control over the... Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, now I remember. Oh, wait. That's right. The CIA. That's right. The CIA. That's right. They monitor YouTube. That's right. That's right. That's their jurisdiction. That's right. Because remember, YouTube's not United States, they're international, so it's CIA. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. So again, the CIA just a terrorist organization. So the point is, the same type of due process bullshit that's built into our system to assassinate people that are for free speech and peace is still there. It's the same bullshit that caused Lee Harvey Oswald to literally shoot JFK. Okay? And not only that, literally his entire CIA was just behind it. And everybody's like, well, we sort of knew about it and we sort of didn't. And, you know, who the fuck? It's still there. All while Trump sat there and admitted it, released the information, and did nothing about it. Except continue to use it for that. Let's plan some hoax fucking assassination attempts. Duh! Run some misinformation all over YouTube. Duh! Hey, I know. Let's tap John Kiriakou because that guy's an idiot. He does not know what the fuck is going on. He's been out of it for decades, but he's really pissed about this torture program. Let's tap him and get him riled up against Obama. Yeah, let's do that. Duh! He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's sitting here making money off of interviews. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I don't blame the guy. You want to interview him? He's just going to give you his opinion. He doesn't fucking know what's going on. He's not in the CIA. Literally just the opinion of some dude that's pissed off at the government at this point. May as well as well fucking interview a known felon or something, you know? Like, I mean, like there's a bajillion people pissed off at the federal government, okay? So it's not that hard, okay? It's not that hard. You just need to remember that's it. It's that. They're just spinning that. And suddenly he's all saying, oh, talking about Obama, like Obama and his cronies and stuff like that. It's like, why is it and his cronies? Obama is one of the most scandal-free presidents. Got rid of terrorists. Wow. Well, the point is this guy spent a lot of time on the other side. He is very biased toward those people. He likes them. So I'm not going to fault him for that. And he's allowed that. He's not a terrorist for thinking that way. But I will not listen to his opinion about Obama when he's saying that about him. It's just wrong. So anyway, I want to remind you that's all it takes. You know, these guys are really full of themselves. They get full of this training. They think they know everything. They think they're invincible and stuff like that. And then so like Trump comes along and just misinformation. All it's going to take is for him to show him a piece of paper that says Obama did this or did that. And it's a lie. He's going to show him something that Obama did the thing that made sure that he went to jail or that he did. Yeah, maybe Obama did because he was president at the time, right? I've already pointed out that he was between a rock and a hard place. He's a president. He cannot publicly just, you know, this guy's a CIA operative and he whistle blew something. He can't just be the president and be like, well, that's fine. Yeah, let's support this. Yeah, I want to get behind that. What does that say for checks and balances in law? Unfortunately, you don't know what a law and order president looks like. You think it looks like Trump, but it looks like Obama. That's the problem. He can't, as the spokesperson for the country, say that. He probably felt for the guy. He really didn't want to do that. Probably, maybe even reduced his sentence. That guy will never know. Obama has to separate himself from that and make sure there's no evidence of that either. Because if he did that, now Obama looks like he is biased. I'll bet that's what happened. I'll bet he actually helped the guy, knowing Obama, and Trump spun this. And maybe he could have even released it, where it would have been like, wow, look what Obama, they tried to lie to you and say that, and he could have released it and finally showed him that Obama was a good guy, but instead, he buried it. I'll bet you stuff like that's happening. Or it would have come out, this guy's really good. But he just buries it. This is why you do not let them take the records. This is why they found the records at Mar-a-Lago after Trump left office. That's why. Because he did not want you to know what was going on. He hid that shit. And he's still going to try to hide that shit. Oh, and he is. So the fact that, again, there's been enough time where he could be easily redacting stuff Obama had in place so that these guys wouldn't hate him. You know, eventually they would find out the truth. And then they didn't. It's possible. What do they teach you in the CIA? There's even a 1% chance. So why can I come up with this shit? Think of this endlessly, yet these guys can't. Because they're so enveloped on their own side of things and so fucking biased. They would never consider that Obama is actually a good person. Has he ever met him? Would he sit down and have coffee with the guy? That's how you know. That's how you know. Okay. Watch interviews, you know, I mean, guys, Trump gets asked a question, he doesn't want to answer it, and asks why he's being asked and calls people piggy. And Obama gets asked a difficult question, he tries to answer it. These aren't even difficult questions. Just basically, what did your people do? You're supposed to release the files. You didn't. Why? Okay. Basic stuff. Failed to produce a reason for the Iran war. Why'd you go to war? I want to know the reason. Why? Okay. Trump's not a normal person. If he has an interview, he's all over the place and he can't help being all giddy that the camera's on him. He just loves it. Okay. But you see almost any other president in an interview, pretty down to earth person for the most modern presidents, even George W. Pretty seemingly normal individual in an interview, good normal individual, seemingly ethical normal individual that would not probably do just grossly terrible things. But the guy that literally can't even be seen without his orange fucking makeup. Okay. Okay. I wonder if he even lets his own kids even see him without his orange fucking make like you know what I mean? Like I wonder, like does he even let his own kids even see him? Like none of us have even seen the guy without his fucking orange makeup in like what 15 years or something like that. Like how long has it been this guy's been wearing orange makeup in the public's view? What is this? This is a very emperor Chinese thing to do. clown sort of thing to do. You are a symbol and you're trying to hide it. You're trying to be that symbol. It's subliminally a symbol. You won't recognize it as that, but it is that. So anybody that aligns with like symbolistic things and stuff like that, immediately that's the psyop. This guy is non-stop fucking scams, lies. Read his book. Doesn't teach you how to get a better deal. John Kiriakou, if you like Trump, no, I don't think you do. But if you do, read his fucking book and you won't like him anymore. Dude literally admits in the entire thing, and he didn't even write it, that it's not the art of the deal, it's the art of the steal. It teaches you how to rip people off. It is the admittance of the rich fucking salesman taking advantage of anybody that doesn't understand the difference between the two lifestyles. That's it. Because you don't understand how he's making money off of you right now, ripping you off, he can endlessly do it. It's that simple. And it's all based on you don't understand cost. You don't understand what it actually is. Do you even understand that, like, for example, something like this doesn't cost all that much to manufacture? Do you get that? Why is it like $200? Do you know how much it costs to make one of those? Like actual cost. $2. Most people don't know stuff like this. Do you know what it costs to make like a tie or a shirt? About 50 cents. To stitch it and make it for the company. 50 cents. So why the fuck is some asshole in Hollywood propping up a store selling all these jackasses $4,000 jackets? Well, because he knows it's the same jacket they're selling over at fucking Boscov's. They're just slapping a different name on it. I promise. There are companies that do this. I don't talk about branding a whole lot, but this is partially why. Now listen, I don't want to talk too much about what it is, because Donald Trump is going to make this a living hell for you if you do. If you tell him what foreign product, he's going to. But there are foreign products that do it right. It's just a good product at a reasonable fucking price, and everything else they sell is too. You don't have to break the bank. So why the fuck isn't everybody else doing that? Because of Donald Trump. That's why. The very one thing Zakk Wylde separated himself from the guitar world, you know, like he made his own guitars and he made his own amps. That was the one, that was why he, basically the premise of what he said to people was, yeah, he wanted you to be able to buy a guitar, his guitar, without breaking the bank, and it being just as good as what the professionals have. And it's the truth, because they are a good bit cheaper, but because his company does that, he can control, you know, or the cost a bit more. Does that make sense? Because he's getting the materials. He knows where they're coming from. So, since he's an honest guy, they just stay where they are. Unless, of course, tariffs get involved. Then suddenly you start realizing certain things. Now, I'm pretty sure he has them made here, right? So any companies that are outsourcing making them overseas, you're going to run into the tariff issue. Yeah. Forcing Americans to be more manufactured here while he has always taken advantage of this Chinese overseas manufacture, and that's Trump. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep fucking going if I don't shut the fuck up. But the point is, the very man that you all think is gonna give you the better, no. The whole point is that he's using that small thing that a lot of people don't realize is in all manufacturing. It's not just guitars. It's not, it really is everything. And I think some people wonder about this. Is it really like TVs? And oh my God, yes. There are like 4 to 5 different brands of TVs that all use the same panel. Same panel, different brand. Same panel, different price points, different brand. You'd never know. Okay. What I mean by panel, the screen. So not the plastic and the board and the software and the plugs necessarily, but the actual panel screen that you view from is the same in like 4 to 5 different TV brands right now. Okay. So how cheap is it for them to make that? Do you, do you understand the problem? These big companies getting together and okay. So why did Walmart buy a certain TV manufacturer? Okay. Understand? Understand? So that they can spy on you. They get you to log into their shit. You buy their TV. Oh, now it used to be the original company spying on you, and that wasn't so bad because you didn't buy it from them. You bought it from Walmart. Now Walmart wants to spy on you. Yeah. Hisense TVs, look it up. Anyway, see you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We're calling out some bullshit. Take care.